find this kind of wild. I was reading an article. New York passed a law on December 13th, 2024, stating that any worker in New York can file a claim when they experience job-induced mental injury from extraordinary workplace stress. So you would still have to prove that your stress is extraordinary, and it's not just, everyday common stress. But that is kind of wild. And why is that wild? Because as we know, in Ohio, there's no such thing as, you can't file a claim for stress caused by stress. So you can't file a psych condition from stress. You can't file a claim. And where this is kind of upsetting for some people is, like, for instance, like, let's say you're in a building, and the building, and this is a fact pattern that came up for me at one point, is I had a client who was in a building, everybody could smell like gas, and then everybody ran out of the building, and then the building subsequently exploded because there was a gas leak. So you're in a life-threatening type of situation. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of adrenaline, etc. But you cannot file a claim for, like, post-traumatic stress disorder because of, you feared for your life. You have to suffer, basically a physical injury has to cause the PTSD. But what this is in New York, apparently you could file a claim for just stress caused by, like a claim, I don't know, PTSD or whatever, when you have an extraordinary level of workplace stress. What would that be? I don't know. But you could never, ever file that in Ohio, and maybe you should be able to file that. I had another factual situation that came up where this would be kind of a reasonable thing to be in place, but I had a worker who was a bus driver, and apparently there was a shooting, and actual bullets went into this bus driver's bus, and it caused her, a lot of, high blood pressure and all these things. It kind of freaked her out, and she suffered reasonably. She suffered for PTSD, but because of that, because there's no physical injury, like she didn't get hit by the bullet, the glass didn't hit her, whatever, she could not make a claim for PTSD. You can't just file a claim for PTSD. So maybe Ohio should adopt a law that New York has. Maybe New York is more generous towards its workers. I don't know, but I think it's kind of really unique that they do this and Ohio doesn't. Maybe we should.